Stop relying on pure willpower to achieve your career results. A lot of you are stuck in go, 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 do, action, action, action in order to build your dream career, in order to land that next job, in order to get a raise, get a promotion, create more fulfillments in your career. And while action is a part of it, there is way more. And by relying on pure willpower, it's not sustainable. You're going to get burnt out and you're not going to get the results as easily and as quickly as you could if you relied on something else as well. And I'm going to reveal what that something else is in this podcast. Stay tuned. Willpower. We know what it feels like when we are running on pure willpower. And we also know what it feels like when we run out. We've all been there. And it can lead to exhaustion. It can lead to burnout. And before that, it kind of sucks too. You get headaches, you get tired. You have no energy, physical, mental energy to do anything. I know that all of you can relate to this because there are days that you're running on pure willpower. And at the end of those, the way that you know is that at the end of those days, after work is done, you just want to crash on the couch. You don't feel like making dinner. All you want to do is lay down and veg and like disappear into your favorite Netflix series. And it's not even fun to do it. It may be your favorite show, but it's not even fun. It's just like, OMG, please let me lie down. So that's an indicator that you're running on pure willpower to get your work done, to achieve your career results. And what I want to invite you to do is to stop relying purely on willpower, because willpower is it's a finite resource, kind of like decision fatigue. I would say they're related. That if you're relying on willpower solely, you're also going to experience decision fatigue. Oh my God, please don't ask me another question. That's how you know you've experienced decision fatigue. I cannot make another decision today. Please stop. So what I want to talk about today is something else to lean on. Something else to focus on, something else to create in your life so that you can actually get more done at work with less time and less effort. And this is a career podcast after all. We're talking about careers and not work, and we often talk about the difference, although those both are important. In your career, when you add this aspect, you're going to see results faster and it's going to be easier. Now, what's this aspect that I'm talking about? Here's what it is. What I want you to do, instead of relying purely on willpower, is I want you to create an informational and social environment that supports you to the outcomes you want. You may want to write that down, because that's the TLDR of this podcast. I want you to intentionally create an informational and social environment that supports you to the outcomes you want. And for those of you who are astute, and many of you are, that's why you're listening, you're a high-achieving, astute person, you're realizing, oh, wow, I can apply this in my career for sure. I can also apply it in many other areas of my life. And you probably realize that without me even explaining what I mean by it. I am going to explain what I mean by it, and I'm going to give you some actionable tools here. So what do I mean by creating an informational and social environment? There's actually two aspects of this one larger aspect. And then we'll get into why this is actually better than relying on pure willpower. So essentially, pay attention to your informational environment. So there's the two aspects. There's the informational environment and then there's the social environment. Information environment. What is the information that surrounds you? And you can intentionally choose that. That's why intentionally create an informational environment that supports you to the outcomes that you want. Outcome that you want might be a hell yes job, a raise, a promotion, more fulfillment in the work that you do. You get to decide what that is. That's step one, by the way. So if you haven't done that yet, make sure you do that. At least generally. I want a better job. I want more money. Even just starting there is enough for now. And then obviously you're going to want more clarity than that moving down the road. For now, we're not focusing on clarity. We're focusing on what does it take to actually create the thing? What does it actually take to turn your dreams to reality? To turn these ideas into money in the bank account. More of it. Turn these ideas into fulfilling, OMG, this is so fun, one-on-ones and meetings with your fellow team. To turn this into actual results for the company that you work for. So, number one, pay attention to your informational environment. What are you surrounding yourself with? So this includes any news that you watch or consume. I know a lot of you don't watch the news anymore. Great. Because it's all just fear-mongering. And I also know a lot of you, do you have sources for news? Like there's places that you go that are more neutral sources. You know, it could be your friends. For me, it's my husband, it's Rob, because he has friends and, you know, friends talk and it's like, oh yeah, hey, this thing happened today. Great, cool. Like I want to be informed without being thrown into the pit of fear. But do pay attention. What information are you surrounding yourself with? So this includes what news you watch or consume. It also includes what shows, what media, what books you watch or consume. So this is watch, listen to, read. This includes podcasts. This includes paper books. Yes, those still exist. They're fun to pick up and read sometimes. And it includes what you're watching on YouTube, what you're watching on Netflix. It includes what the email list that you're subscribed to, what's in your email. So pay attention to that. And maybe what you might want to do is take a week and have your focus be this question. Does this information source support me to my outcomes? Now, it could support you in a very practical, tactical way, right? So maybe you consume LinkedIn because, you know, in your searching job ads. That may support you in a very transactional but useful way because you're on the job market. Okay, cool. But it could also support you in an emotional, psychological, and spiritual way. And if it doesn't, then I highly consider that you unsubscribe, that you don't consume it anymore. Is this information source aligned with my outcomes? And your outcome is a material thing. It's also the experience that you want to have along the way. I want a hell yes job. Great. And I want to land it easily and breezily and with joy and gratitude. Okay, cool. I'm going to focus on the hell yes job. And what are the aspects of the hell yes job? I'm also going to focus on the joy and the gratitude. Does this information source promote joy and gratitude within me? Because if it doesn't, I'm going to highly consider unsubscribing / deleting that app / not even following it anymore. Surround yourself with information sources, with an informational environment that is 100% aligned with what you want and who you want to be, how you want to feel and who you want to be. And then do the same thing with your social environment. You are the combination, the average of the, 5 to 7 people who you surround yourself with. I don't know who originally came up with that. I can't attribute it to anyone because I don't know who it is. But it's in the zeitgeist, and you know what? It's true. You are the average of the 5 to 7 people that you hang around with the most. You are your emotional home, your emotional state, what you focus on. And yes, this is related to the information that you consume as well. What you focus on is going to be the average of what the 5 people that you surround yourself with focus on, because that's who you surround yourself with. So for this one, what you might want to do is make a list of the 5 to 7 people who you surround yourself with the most. And in this day and age, yes, this is in person, it's also online as well. Because a lot of us have friends or groups where we actually interact with people entirely online, and that's where we get a lot of our we fill our social cup. And that's cool, that's great. I highly encourage you to make sure that there are at least 1 or 2 people in your life that you get to see IRL in real life as often as possible, because nothing can replace a real hug, a real smile right in front of you. And yeah, we have friends that are online as well. So make sure you remember those. Who are the 5 to 7 people that you surround yourself the most? And write their names down. And then next to each of them, write down their major points of focus and their major vibes. What do they think about the most? What do they feel the most? So, what do they talk about the most? So this is the intellectual piece of it. Where is their focus? What do they like to talk about? What do they like to intellectualize? What do they like to possibly even argue or complain about? And that's something to notice. Do you really want to surround yourself with complainers and people who are addicted to arguing? These are hard heart-to-heart with me, myself, and I kind of conversations, but you may want to choose to not interact with this person as much. That's your choice. Even if it's a family member, that's your choice. So for each person, what do they talk about the most? What do they think about the most? And then also, what do they feel the most? What is their vibe? What's their frequency? Is their vibe happy-go-lucky and open and free? It may be sometimes a little goofy. Or is their vibe more like anger and worry and fear and sadness and disgust and shame and guilt, and I want to complain and the world sucks? Well, it doesn't take a rocket scientist to say if you surround yourself with someone who vibes in the latter, the world sucks and I complain all the time, even if you have the most regulated, powerful way of boundarying that, of not allowing that in, even if your boundaries are really, really regulated and you know how to do that, you're still being exposed to it. So maybe you choose to not surround yourself with that person and you find new people, your people. The ideal here is when you list those 5 people, 7 people, every single one of them in their own unique, human, wacky way is oh my God, these are my people. These are my people. I cannot wait to see them again. It's been too long since I've seen them again. I feel expansive thinking about the next time I get to talk to them. And this goes whether you're an introvert or an extrovert. We're all humans. We're all social creatures, even the most introverted of us. We are still social at our cores. So surround yourself with an informational environment and a social environment that supports you to the outcomes you want. Again, an outcome is a tangible thing, like a new job, more money, plus the experience you want to have along the way. And your best advocates and the best information, your best friends, are going to be people who support you in one or the other or both. They're going to support you in the tangible, they're going to support you in the intangible, emotional, or they might even be supporting you in both. Like that friend who knows you're on the job market is also on the job market themselves. And you are supporting one another, advocating for one another, looking out for one another, looking out for job ads, looking for connections, networking together. And when you're with them and when you hang around them, you feel like the best version of yourself because that's how they show up too. That's the environment you want to surround yourself with. And when you do that, it actually requires this much willpower. For those of you who are listening, my 2 fingers, my forefinger and my thumb are about an inch away from one another. It's the wee bit of willpower. There's still action that's involved. If we're talking about being on the job market, yeah, you got to do your resume. You got to show up for the interviews powerfully. You got to negotiate, all of those things. And it's so much easier when the environment is just 100% supportive of it. The environment is like, wee! It's like the difference between climbing a rock face with a 100-pound ruck on your back. That's pure willpower. Versus sitting at the top of a water slide and then just pushing yourself a little and the momentum takes you through. Momentum. That's why you surround yourself with an informational and a social environment that supports you to your goals, because momentum is on your side there. And all you got to do is just the little nudges and the pushes and the lean this way and lean that way to get to where you want to go. So stop relying on pure willpower. It's going to be harder. It's going to take longer. You're going to get burnt out. You're going to get exhausted. Instead, pay attention to what surrounds you and set yourself up for success. And, one of the things that our clients say when we ask them, what's the most valuable thing that you're getting out of working with us? It's often about the systems and the strategies and knowing that it's a proven strategy that works and I don't have to throw stuff at the wall to see what sticks anymore. That's the first thing that they usually notice. And then after they've been working with us for a time, even just a few weeks or a couple of months, it's like, you know what? I get the strategy now. The reason I'm staying, the reason I'm continuing to work with you, and actually, if I'm honest, it helped me in the beginning too, is because of the tribe. It's like, for our clients, I'm no longer in this hidey hole, all alone, staring at my computer screen. I'm surrounded by people who inspire me. One of our clients said, the reason I continue working with you is I can accomplish way more with you than without. So it makes it a no-brainer. So if you're looking for that kind of support, if you're looking for that kind of tribe so that you can build your dream tech career, reach out. Let's find out if it's a fit to work together. And the way to do that is to book a call with my team, thepeoplestack.com/book, thepeoplestack.com/BOOK. Stop relying on willpower. Surround yourself with your tribe. Surround yourself with the information and the vibes that are 100% in support of what you want. And then life can be like the most fun game you've ever played. That's the game of life and how to play it. Take care and take it easy. Bye for now.